Hey guys, what is up? Today I will be bringing you inside of my head, showing you why I make the choices I make when it comes to game time, what I do, and really just my decision-making process when playing Battlefield, because I think a lot. I mean, I'm a very cerebral dude. When I make choices, it's not just me running around the map like a crazy person. A lot of the stuff that I do, there's a method to it. There's a method to the madness. You'll see I'm using an ACR, and because of the fact I'm using an ACR, that means that I'm going to be very aggressive. I'm going to rush. In this gameplay, I drop about 49 kills, so close to the 50 bomb, but I also die 12 times. So you'll see me make quite a few mistakes, which I'll be capitalizing on, and I overcome them because I get a decent amount of kills here. So right out of the gate, I really like to look at the objectives. I like to see where everyone is. If all of my team is in one location, I like to go to the other location. But, I could see a lot of people dying. I had to make sure my team was okay. So I went in, cleaned up some kills, and I eventually got shot in the back. One thing also that I do a lot is when I'm playing against the team, I get a feel for the team very quickly. And I don't know if you guys do this or not, but when I'm playing, I like to see if this team is being aggressive or passive, and then that's going to control a lot of what I do. So this team that we're playing against right now is incredibly aggressive, and they like to rush a lot. So I think that I can meet them in battle, and you can see, I mean, they're just rushing the shit out of me right now. I'm having to take cover, and my team's got my back. I mean, it's really hard for me to rush into these guys, to the point where throughout this game, I was questioning, maybe I should use a gun that's better at long range, like an AK-5C or an M416, but I stuck with it, and I really enjoyed what I was doing. You can see, look, just banging these guys out. I'm not even moving up really at all. I'm just having to do what I have to do. I'm still getting shot, though. There's so many people right here. I mean, these guys really are bringing the heat. I'm barely getting out of these situations alive. Walmart.com killed me. What kind of gamer tag is that, man? But every time I die, I also, by the way, I never spawn on teammates. And typically, whenever I choose to spawn on teammates, I die. Like, what you just saw right here, me just getting completely raped, is what happens when I spawn on a teammate. So I almost always pick the random spawn. I trust the game to give me the appropriate location. Sometimes it doesn't, like you just saw. Just completely fucked up. Now, because the other team is really focusing on A and B right here, this is where I'm really going to be putting a lot of the pressure down. I'm trying to help my team. I can see that they're all going for A, so I'm just laying down a little bit of support here. I'm just coming up on the flank, right behind my team. There we go, get the revive. Also, in my opinion, it is not the smartest move to always go for revives. I cannot tell you how many times I've been able to get just so many kills because the other team decides that they're going to just go Rambo revive mode and try and pick up their teammates. I only pick up my teammates if it's a necessity. I mean, here's just another example of how aggressive this team is. I went for the flank, and they were already, going for it, too. There was two of them. They double-teamed me. Typically, that move always works. I can always get a kill or two off of that. But no, this team was very aggressive, hit the flank hard and fast, and I just died. Now, one of the downsides to using the spawn system is that you, a lot of the times, spawn away from combat. And it's not fun. It's really not fun to have to run into battle every single time. But I can tell you right now, it is so much more satisfying to, start off where you're secure, where you have a little bit of awareness, than just spawning on a shitload of teammates. By the way, I gave these three dudes the movement. I was just putting in shots, backing up, putting in shots, backing up. I drop a med kit just so I can support myself, get some health while I'm just laying into these guys. By all accounts, I should be dead right now, but I was able to get 2 kills off of that. Realistically, I should have died, but because I was able to just maneuver around those 3 guys, I got 2 kills out of that, and that's a fair trade. Now, if I was a little smarter, I should have kept backing up. I should not have tried to hold my ground. I should have just kept running away. Also, because this dude planted his little claim where I was like, well, I'm not even going to fuck with it. I don't want to blow it up. I don't want to cause any unwanted attention. I'm trying to be a little sneaky right now, moving through these rooms. I can see that their team's kind of going for the flank, so I'm just lining these guys up. There's 1 kill. He's not even ready for it. But then there's 3 more dudes, and then there's another one, and I got 2 of them. And that's the thing, man. If you can predict where the team's going to be, if you can just pick up on those really subtle hints, you know, you see two dudes running past that barred window, you jump in there and you just line it up, try and get there before the enemy does, and you can secure your kills. I mean, look at this. Just because I was able to read the situation, I was able to push up, be a little bit aggressive, and end up getting 3 to 4 kills out of it. I'm also looking for my team, making sure that I'm being as tactical as possible, and I'm supporting them to the best of my ability. And some people consider that baiting. I don't consider it baiting. You might think, well, you know, oh, he's just baiting his teammates for kills. No, not at all. I'm trying to support my teammates as best I can. Just sometimes they're fucktards, and they decide that they want to die. So I can't do anything about it. You know, there it is. Again, you know, I get 1 kill, back up. And I'm just continually putting in shots, trying to get angles. Of course, sometimes, man, you get flanked, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Also, if you guys are wondering, the Xbox One controller is much harder to use than the Xbox 360 controller, in my opinion. I've talked to a few people, and they say, oh, the Xbox One controller is so much better. But I find, personally, my aim is not as good with this new controller as it was when I was using the 360 controller. And it's getting better. It's getting better the more I use this controller, but, you know, I really do, I don't know. I feel like I'm going to break this controller sometimes. If you guys have an Xbox One, you know what I mean. The joysticks are just so fucking tiny, man. I feel like I'm Shaq and I'm, you know, going in on this little 5'4", you know, chipmunk of a girl. You know, he probably just feels like he's going to break those women. That's the way I feel with this Xbox One controller, you know what I'm saying? Anyway. I'm still holding it down. I'm putting pressure on this objective. Now, one tip, this is one thing that I really don't see anyone capitalize on, is if all of your team is in one location of the map, you can bet $100 that the enemy team is going to spawn on the opposite end of you. So you can see right here, my whole team is at C. Once we kill everyone, they're probably all going to spawn at A. This whole other team is going to spawn on the opposite side of the map, and then I can run over there and get a lot of kills too. But being able to predict that, being able to consciously be aware of this fact during game time can really rack up a shitload of kills for you. I've done it quite a few times. I haven't mastered this yet, but I'm still working on it. Just going to where your team isn't. If all your team's at one side of the map, you just go to the opposite side of the map, and then chances are they'll all spawn there, all of the enemy team, you'll pick up a lot of kills. So my awareness during this gameplay, if I'm really trying to be honest with you guys, if I'm trying to go in on my criticisms and trying to become a better player here, I can tell you that because of the fact that I'm so aggressive sometimes, my awareness gets very narrow-minded. I can't focus on everything at all times when I'm rushing. Actually, I get a lot of tunnel vision when I'm aggressive. So, you know, if I'm rushing really hard, it's hard for me to just, like, check the left and the right of a doorway. Because I get in the zone and I like to rush, and then that ends up with me dying. And one thing that I might do to alleviate this situation is use a suppressor. I've been thinking about using a suppressor, but I'm not entirely sure yet. Look at this. One thing I really do love about the ACR is just how easy it is to outgun people, man. It's so fucking easy. I mean, especially on a map like this, if you're playing domination, it's just, you know, people just don't stand a fucking chance. You know, this dude didn't even get a shot off before I was able to get out of there. And right now, you know, a lot of the times when people are playing domination, they'll tend to just focus on kills and running around the map. You really want to make sure that even if you're not capping objectives, you're in a good position to get a lot of kills. You can see right here that I'm really in a good spot. I was just holding down the C hill. Now I'm going over to B, you know, putting in some shots here, doing what I have to do, missing the jump just a little bit, but it's all good. Now, this is where I really start to rip the other team apart. You'll see that this LMG really slowed me down a lot. I can't rush as hard as I want to. I have to slow down quite a lot because you have to aim in before your gun becomes accurate. You can't be walking around and running around and aiming. It's just not as accurate as a carbine is. You have to stop moving, shoot your gun, and then continue moving. You can't just be running around and then aim in, if that makes any sense whatsoever. The LMGs can become incredibly inaccurate very quickly. You just want to make sure that you're in a stationary position when you shoot this gun. And If you look to the bottom right of my screen, you'll see that my health is at 35, but I continue to push. And you can see the reason why is because I have teammates to the left and to the right of me. I feel incredibly safe the whole time, and I'm able to be aggressive because my team is moving around like a wolf pack. And I have a suppressor, so that means I'm not going to show up on the enemy radar. You can see, these guys just stand no chance. They're being so aggressive, and this is their Achilles tendon. This other team is deciding to be so aggressive that they're actually messing themselves up. Of course, it's just a ranked match, and they're not coordinated, but if you're going to be this aggressive, you gotta be tactical, and this team is not very tactical. So when I'm playing with my team, even if I'm not communicating with them, you can do a lot of damage. You can see, I see this dude moving up, I see my team moving up on the left. I can just use my team to figure out where the enemy is. And consequently, they don't stand a chance. And this is what I mean with the Xbox One controller. Sometimes my aim is just not the best, and I have to just say, okay, let's slow down a little bit, and then we'll be good to go. Boom, there it is. That 2, 3 easy kills. I'm really just putting in shots, man. I'm putting in shots for my teammates, trying to support them to the best of my ability. And the plus side is I'm using a suppressor, so nobody knows I'm up here. I'm on some James Bond shit. And see there, I see my teammate, he's kind of dead, so I'm just going to push up, be really passive, because I don't have a health pack. I see 2 teammates dead, so that means that I can just keep being aggressive. By the way, and you can see, I'm 44-9 right now just by playing with my team, being aggressive, using my situational awareness to my advantage. Also, by the way, guys, if you're looking for any types of tips, if you're, just trying to become better, I'm not the best player by any stretch of the imagination. But, I do like to play solo a lot, and I would recommend for anyone that wants to become better at Battlefield, play a lot of domination and get your gun game up. Also, make sure that you are confident. I truly believe in this. If you're confident before, anything else, you will become successful. At least in gaming. If you're going to practice basketball, it helps a lot to be confident before you're good. I actually think that you can't become good at something unless you have that confidence, I don't think Michael Jordan ever thought that he was an awful basketball player. But that's just me. I think that he always had that type of confidence to be able to go in and just dominate people. I don't think that you can become good at something without at least having that little bit of confidence, and that's taken me a long way. Anything that I've ever been remotely, somewhat successful at, I was always confident before I tried it. Even if I failed, I said, okay, I'm just going to be as confident as possible. I'm going to feel as good as I possibly can, and then I'm going to, just press forward and, have a good work ethic. And 9 times out of 10, it ends up working out for me if I stick with it. And this, this can be applied to gaming. You can see this other team, because of their aggression, they ended up losing 103-5. It's over. That's it. They're done pretty much. And I was so anxious about this 50 kill bomb. I wanted this 50 bomb so fucking bad, but I couldn't get it. Anyways, guys, that does it for me. I hope you enjoyed this commentary. Like, comment, and subscribe, and give me criticism if you'd like. Peace.